I believe that sustainability and sustainable fashion is still not cool enough. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, because we've shamed like the whole word sustainability and green, etc. I think it's
The way that luxury sounds like
I just
a
think
little
it's like
bit.
it's so greenwashed that it's just like whenever you say it, it's like,
So we need new words and it will become cool.
yeah, I even stopped including it into whatever we do because I actually think it backfires more than it does good.
I've got something to say, you should hear it. Oh.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Fashion Game Changers podcast series. These podcast episodes are run by the NOLD Foundation, which is an organization which aims to bring information about how the fashion industry can become better. In every single episode, we're inviting an industry leader who is sharing their view on the industry, but also a lot of personal stories about how things were built, what were the hardest moments, what are the next big things in fashion to talk about. In the first episode, however, I do have the honor of inviting my co-founder at the NOLD, Anna. We have been working together for quite a long time. So before we kick off and invite some of the people that we aspire to and look up to, we would love to share a little bit more of our own journey at the NOLD. So the NOLD is a peer-to-peer platform for resale. However, it's the first one in the world to invite brands into equation towards circularity. So today I'm hoping to cover a lot of exciting topics on, working together, how it all started, what were the, the moments that we wanted to give up, and what were these, godly forces that helped us keep on going. So let's start from the very beginning. Tell us a little bit more about you. So clearly you're Anna, but tell us a little bit more about what were you doing before we met.
Yeah, so thank you for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me to work with you on this and many more projects to come and before that. I must say that my journey in fashion started very optimistically with the idea that fashion can be this beautiful, amazing, inspirational thing that you some kind of cherish and use to represent yourself in the world. It turns out that the fashion industry can be very harmful and very ugly on the side that most of the people don't see. And this is why I decided that if I want to continue pursue my fashion career in a way, I have to change from making fashion to making sustainable fashion. That's how we come to work together. So I'm on this journey. I know that it's a path. It's not a one-way street, and you have to always ask the question, ask the important and not so convenient questions. And that's why I hope that here together we might find a way to actually not only to educate but to inspire our listeners of how we can become better of doing fashion and actually using fashion in the best possible way.
Yeah, thank you so much. When we were discussing what this podcast is going to be, we were very clear that we didn't want it to be boring. We didn't want to talk about, we need to be using organic cotton, etc. We wanted to, as you said, to ask the real questions and what are the feasible solutions of, getting the two most important worlds into sustainability. One is the brands, because brands are the ones who produce, so it has to be driven by them. But then also it's the end consumer, and so before diving into that, so I think it's just very important to kind of get the cliche out of sustainability and kind of define what is sustainability for us. And throughout the years, if you ask me, what I would say is that if you perpetuate a process in infinity, that if you're looking at the earth, say 1,000,000 years from now, doing the same things which we're doing now, would it look better or would it look worse? Clearly, it would not, it would be completely depleted. And so we need to change something. We need to produce a little bit less, that's clear, or we need to produce in a way which is fully degradable because we just cannot cope with all of the waste. But there is also, just the way we're genetically programmed to be consumers and to seek for diversity. And, you had this question about vanity, and I think vanity is such a huge part of, fashion, why we buy new things. It feels like, yes, we are who we are, but when you put a sexy red dress versus, papangaya, sweatpants, you're a little bit of a different person. Like it helps you represent yourself, your emotional state. So talk to me about vanity. How important is vanity in fashion and in sustainability?
I always ask this question because always sometimes we laughed about the fact that fashion is not always beautiful. Sometimes it's very ugly. Sometimes, I mean, in the recent days, you can look at the new shoes trend and you see ugliness all around. But vanity has something with the self-expression. So for me, sustainable fashion, in order to become a norm amongst the many sellers and the buyers we want to attract on our platform, I believe that they have to understand that vanity and self-expression itself can become of something like, okay, this is my vanity. Secondhand, shopping secondhand, finding this amazing, unique piece can be my vanity. So I believe that celebrities, the brands, the designers and the influencers have the power in their hands to change the perspective of the way people sees vanity and fashion and how they can actually adopt the circular fashion, they can adopt the secondhand fashion. So I believe the power is in the people who have the voice to do it. So my dream will be for brands like Jacquemus or Miu Miu to actually adopt their circular potential, be part of their circular fashion, their resale market, and actually make their consumers to think twice before and how to buy their goods. So I do believe that vanity can have two faces.
Yeah, so from what I'm hearing, actually, vanity can be programmed as well, because once upon a time, vanity could have been, or at least in my eyes, it was, something needs to be expensive. If it's expensive, it's by a specific brand, and actually, we wouldn't pay so much attention to, let's say, the quality. Like it could be like plastic transparent bag, but it has a specific label on it. You would be like, oh, it's fashionable. It's 2,000 pounds. Whereas with secondhand fashion, we used to have the non-cool factor of secondhand before, like years ago. Whereas now, definitely, we have very cool people, trendsetters, like being proud of thrifting things and featuring them as actually the hottest finds on their wardrobe. So I think now that this is cool, kind of the vanity, as you said, could shift towards, I still feel glamorous in fantastic thrifting in secondhand stores. So clearly, I think we're on a good trajectory. We've seen, for what we do, we've seen that a lot of brands are excited about our circular solution. They're exploring ways to become more sustainable. But let's talk about, the things which we're probably ashamed to talk about sometimes. So let's cover maybe.
No, you know what? I wanted really to start this podcast with the question, not the question, but the statement. I'm in sustainable fashion, but. So I'm challenging you to say, I'm in sustainable fashion, but what is the most unsustainable thing that you have done recently? Because as we said at the beginning, nobody's perfect. You can't be all switching lights and going and making marks to people that they're not sustainable.
The most embarrassing thing, which I always feel horrible about, but I keep on doing it for 3 years now, is buying my kids' clothes from the most unsustainable brand in the world, simply because they always, have everything which I need. And in one shopping go I enter, like I fill my basket with the shoes, the bodies.
And you want to look them cute, right?
And they look cute, yes, because on all of the other brands are like 3 times more expensive the least. I mean, it's just really ridiculous how swim shorts from one brand which I was looking at was 150 euro, and I'm like, god damn it, I'm not paying 150 for shorts. So for my kids, I definitely don't shop very sustainably, which is very paradoxical, because the whole purpose of what I'm doing is to leave a better world for my children. And so it comes down to my very deep belief as a founder that for change to happen, you need to build a solution that is just as accessible as the status quo. So for example, if we think of the the fast fashion brands, I mean, they're just accessible. Like you go out and you enter and you find whatever you want without even having research if they have it. Online, it arrives in 3 days, so it's just convenient. So for a solution to work, it needs to be as accessible as the status quo. It needs to be at the same price or better than the status quo. And it needs to offer the diversity of the status quo. So this is why, specifically when it comes to kids shopping, I don't have, and accessible, more sustainable, cheaper.
So we have
as
a
they were-
mission then. We have a mission. Now we have to solve the general fashion circularity problem. And then, because we've tried that already, it was kind of a not so successful, to make kids fashion circular, because this is the hardest thing actually in fashion, is to resell kids
But then
clothes.
actually kids' clothes get so amortized. Like I actually have tried shopping for like kids for secondhand, and I'm giving from my bigger boy to my younger girl, but then they're so destroyed that they actually
It could be, but I'm still certain that a lot of the goods, not only the items, not only fashion items that we can be recirculated for the kids.
Yeah.
And this is very hard to be done because it's very small items, they outgrow them very fast. So once we figure out how to resell adults fashion, we can do it with kids.
I'm very excited about biodegradable kid stuff too. But anyway, that's another topic. How about you? What are you ashamed of in terms of being non-sustainable?
Okay, so I just read this article about the lady who hasn't buy new clothes. Oh my gosh, was it for 7 years or for 1 year? Because it's in
for 1 year is very common. Like everyone,
for 1
I'm
year,
texting people and they're like, "Oh, I'm on a 1 year non-shopping challenge."
So it could have been for 7 years, and it's in my head, and I'm always thinking about, could this be done? Or if I decide to do it, can I say to myself, okay, one last shopping, like the big shopping for the next 7 years, and then I'll try to have everything that I want in my wardrobe, and then that's enough, and I won't shop for anything more for 7 years. So I'm in sustainable fashion, but I have bought another pair of Stampas because I have to have them in every color possible. I find them very, very comfy.
Yeah.
And I really like them. So this is for me. Okay. I rarely shop for shoes, but now I have like 5 pairs of Samba, which is...
Oh wow! Even I didn't know. I have one.
Yeah. So yes, I try to be more thoughtful. I really try to cherish the items that I have. As we usually speak and we talk a lot about the fact that it doesn't have to be necessary to have to be from sustainable brand or expensive brand. It has to be something that you for certain wear a lot of times. So the cost per wear is very low for each item that you buy. So that's the idea. And if it's not, you have to find a way to resell it or circular.
Okay.
To put it in circularity.
Yeah, same. I mean, I think I've resorted to a shopping model where I only look for optimal things. Like I need
but you're the king of this thing. I kind of can't do it the way you do it. I mean, you're so in a kind of a core basic wardrobe that you have that you always...
Yeah, I sometimes feel that people think I'm wearing the same thing every day just simply because it's so consistent. And
no, it's not Mark Zuckerberg.
But Mark, if you're looking this, she said it. I did it.
No, but he's adding a chain now. He's wearing a chain, and a lot of people are making jokes.
I added a chain as well. Yeah. So what I wanted to say was that so I shop for things, and I'm not discounting the fact that I might find a more optimal one. So I would buy it. So for example, if I want elegant pants, I would buy elegant pants. But then if I find a more optimal fit, I would buy them and sell my old ones. So I'm not just accumulating. And like here and there, I expand my range, but I would always sell like the less optimal only. Like when I find a new one, I would sell the less optimal one. So I do shop, but then it feels like the amount of things remains somewhat constant. Even though you're like, when I'm bringing my bags to resell at another, always like, where are these clothes coming from? Yeah. Okay, so I feel, so for my conversations with people, a lot of them are asking, how are you doing it all? Startup, family, taking care of yourself. And little do they know that it's like 10 times a day that I want to jump through the terrace and just die and for life to finish. So just wanted to say that I want to go through kind of like founding the NOLD and then go into a little bit more of a ups and downs, like what are the cool parts about building a business and what have been the absolutely horrific times.
I think that the best thing about building a business is the fact that you know that you own the cards of everything that you're doing, and it's up to you to make it, break it, or
which is as exciting as it is. terrifying because you own the cards and you have team under you to take care
Yeah.
of, etc. Like you have to raise money. You have
And
to
nobody
make
tells you how many small things you have to do every day or even in big scale to sacrifice. Every time that you feel like you're tired, you know that it's up to you, so you have to pick up and do it. So I remember I once asked you, what do people with 2 kids do? And you said they just do it. I guess it's the same with the startup. You just do it. You can't give up. You're not allowed. And most of all, every time that I remind myself that I really like the cause that is behind this business. I really like the idea. That's why I'm doing it most of all, because it has
so
a
let's
purpose.
go to the specifics. So the NOLD is, we went through a few spin-offs, right? So we have one failed startup, you and I, which was a marketplace for sustainable brands, which didn't work because people want sustainable fashion, but they don't shop it the way we imagined that they would.
No.
So we pivoted to something that I find like really smart, and I'm very proud of what we've built. It's a peer-to-peer marketplace which invites brands into the equation. So we power the fastest listing, so it's much faster for your list. And when you sell it, you can claim either 90% in cash or 100% in store credit, and the very possibility to offer 100% payout is because we're partnering with the brands, and of course they're monetizing from every single transaction, so we make it very hassle-free for brands to enter. So coming back to what I said before, that it needs to be accessible or even easier than the status quo, we've made it like even easier. So we actually, to start with, we don't ask you to shop, we ask you to sell. So this is, such a cool proposition that for the first time you're not pushing buy. We're actually telling you, sell what you no longer wear, make money, make space. So it's a very, I think, attractive proposition to have. So I think it's something very fresh to hear. It's much easier than all of the, the, I think, other alternatives on the market. You make money out of it, and you have like a ton of diversity because the amount of listings which, so the amount of things which people sell is actually almost equal to the amount which, is being offered and bought. So you can find everything. Like I dare you, if you go and look up like Gucci Panther glasses from specific year. So actually getting here, I mean, now the times are great. Like we fundraised, we managed to close around. The business is live for 3 months now. But getting to here, we almost went bankrupt 3 times. Okay, 2 times.
3 times? Yeah, or 2
Yeah, I
times?
think it was 2. Okay, two like
Count them.
yeah, it's like after the second one you stop counting.
No, it's 3 times. The first time were just right after the spin-off, then before
at the time of
first
spin-off,
investment, the second investment, and then
Okay, so let's say 2 or 3
It could
anyway.
be 3
Like
times.
we were close to to just quitting it all, like around 3 times, and then on the day of launching the note was the day I got pregnant, and then exactly a year later, when I was like exactly back and in force, you got pregnant, and then when you gave birth, I got pregnant again. We were fundraising, so it's been. Tell me, like, talk to me.
Three bankruptcy almost.
Yeah, 3 bankruptcies and 3 kids.
And 3 kids.
Yeah, we should not have more kids because it seems correlated.
Enough bankruptcies.
Yeah, enough bankruptcies and kids. Well, bankruptcies for sure. So tell me tell me one like super cool moment that you loved, and tell me, or many, and like one super failure where you felt like, what am I doing? Where am I going?
Yeah, well, I think one of the most exciting moments would be the first one, always the first one, because we launched just before Christmas, and everybody was telling us, this is a new venture, you haven't even advertised, who's going to buy before Christmas? We were up in the morning very early, and we had problems with
we hadn't slept,
We hadn't slept, so
because the domain wasn't connected until 5 a.m.
One of the most exciting moments for me was back then when it all started so well, and it was a stellar start.
Did you feel it was going to be a success before we launched?
We had like I was pretty calm, so I knew that it's going to be good. I didn't expect it to be so good, and I had butterflies in my stomach, which is also
it's
very
interesting because with our previous startup, which didn't like, I mean, even with
hundreds
of thousands in marketing,
remember when we launched.
It's like, I was like,
I don't remember when
it just felt
Did
like
we had a date like that it's got live.
Yeah, we did. I mean, now I don't remember that either.
No.
But for the note, I remember 17th of December.
Yeah, 17th.
And so with the note, I was kind of certain. I was like, this is gonna kill it. I mean, this is just such a cool product. Like, and as you said, like no marketing. Few days before Christmas,
And
when
for
everyone
you,
was investing.
the best?
So the best moment for me, I think it was the last round, because the last round made me feel like we are, not that we haven't fundraised before, but now it felt like people really see what we're doing, because it was, I think, like here I'm tapping myself on the shoulder, but like we literally raised €1 million on nothing. Like we didn't have the product.
Yeah, don't say that.
We didn't have the team.
Don't say that.
No, but I think it's very powerful because
It's powerful because they believed in you and the idea, mainly.
I was like, I'm in love. We are in love with Sabina Gershwa, the founder of By Far, and I was fortunate to be a moderator in a panel with her a few months ago. And she has built a company which is like generating tens of like millions in orders. So super successful company. Beyonce wears it. Kylie Jenner, like whoever you think of, Michelle Obama is wearing By Far. And people were asking her, how did you succeed? How do you convince people that you're the one before you are the one? And she was like, you just need to believe it yourself. You just need to know the value of your company. You need to know the value of your idea. And if you yourself, you don't believe you're going to be making hundreds of millions, then no one is going to.
Usually when you meet your most aggressive critics, that's how you know that the idea is worthwhile.
I hate criticism, like every time a VC says.
But if someone is criticizing your product and you don't care about this critic, I mean, you don't believe that they are saying the truth, and you believe in your product despite their critic.
Yeah.
You know that you'll
the
succeed.
more I grow up, the more I realize that words a lot of times don't even matter. Of course, when you open your mouth, everything counts. But a lot of times, you see someone and you just know they're top 1%. And even though it might sound like a replicable idea, like if someone comes and tell me I'm going to make, the next KFC, and no one's going to invest, in the next KFC simply because you have KFC and you have 1,000 of other brands. But like
you can always do it better.
Yeah, but sometimes you just see the person, you're like, I see they have the vision, and I see they have the, the flair, the it factor, yes, to all put it together and and make it the next big, for example, food chain. And I think
so that's why I believe that most of the investors actually believed in you and your capabilities to lead the team.
In us.
The team.
So this is why I'm saying that it felt not like magic. I wouldn't say magic because we worked really hard. I mean, this was a process of.
Do you remember
9 months, like literally 9 months process to fundraise? And
do you remember the hard work afterwards, or only the pleasure?
I mean, we haven't exited the hard work, so I don't know. I don't know what it's like to not work and have a break. But as you know, I love our work. I love our company. So
I mean, there are certain pushes every now and then. There are certain pushes that you have to provide something, just before the launch.
This is exciting. Like my biggest passion in life is starting things. So, so for me, every launch, like every new campaign, every new brand that we work with, every update of the platform. I mean, for me, I break down the novelties on a smaller. So it's not like just launching a new company, but for me, I break down the new, like launching something on a more like granular basis. So every single brand for me is exciting. For us to receive the samples, to look at the samples, to build the visuals, to plan the campaign.
For me, is to get them on board. This is what I'm most afraid of, that the brands won't be on board fast enough for them to appreciate the fact that they can really profit from their resale market. This is something that I am dreaming of for the brands to realize. So which one was the hardest then?
This is easy. And I have to be very...
I don't know which one is my favorite.
What do you think?
I don't know. For you? I know. I
try to guess.
Was it just right after the signing? No.
No, not right after the signing, but 2 days before the signing. So I have to be I have to be very delicate about
that's what I meant.
Talking about it, because it just, before I say whatever I say, it just, everyone needs to know, like, involved in the Node and in the investment team, that I'm very appreciative. And I just think that things could have been done better on my side for sure, but on all sides, I think we could have worked a little bit better. So the situation, as you know, was that we started fundraising for the NOLD, and even I didn't know I was pregnant. And so when we started, it was you couldn't guess any such thing. Like I already had one child, and I didn't know I was pregnant. Clearly, we started to fundraise. I found out, and I didn't feel like sharing it immediately because I hadn't even shared it with the world. Like I usually am I don't share such things. Even with my first pregnancy, I never announced it. And so like just the fundraising got dragged, luckily because it got bigger. And then it was like we still hadn't closed it, and I'm like, I'm giving birth in 1 week and we still haven't closed the round. And it just something needs to, some communication needs to happen because it's just a very odd moment. I just don't want to pop in, for investors to be like, where did this come from? And so I communicated with one investor. So we almost had everyone on board. It was like all of the documents were ready, and we were 2 days away from the
Actual
birth.
signing.
Yeah. From birth, yeah. And so I said, I know this might come as a shock, but I'm pregnant. It's not going to affect my work. But I thought because you and I have a daily communication, I just thought to share this because I don't want you to find out from social media or from someone and be like, I didn't tell you, because you've grown close enough for me to share this personal information with you. And so this didn't play out well.
I remember that you felt somehow guilty that you kept it for so long, and I remember telling you when you were composing the message.
Absolutely. Like I never felt guilty for keeping it, ever, like felt guilty. No, what I felt was that because the suggestion, which was more of a, not a suggestion, but this is what you should do, is email everyone like right now, literally before the signing, like day before the signing. I'm pregnant. I'm going to give birth on Friday.
You're very brave that you didn't actually wrote this mail.
And just and announce it now. And I'm like, I'm not going to do this because like I couldn't hold I cry in really extreme cases, I think. And I was like, and I started crying not because I was like surely the hormones were kicking in, but I was like, are you seriously saying that we have been working for this round for 9 months to close it, like on top of a gazillion other things, like, and now 2 days before we sign it, because it got dragged for such a long time because of different investors, different clauses.
Was very, very.
And I was like, it's like, of course everyone is going to pull out because it's like, it feels like if I'm going to say it now, I'm going to be like, ho,
as if you meant to make them, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not going to do it because it's not, it's not a professional matter. It's not something that matters to the company. I mean, I have one child. I know what I'm doing. I'm not delusional. I'm going to be operational. Everything is going to be fine, So then I felt really horrible for going against advice because it's someone that has helped our company so much in ways that I cannot even say thank you enough. And I felt like everything was going to fall apart so many months after working so hard. And we finally sold the whole documents because the amount of changes was really annoying. I mean, to so many times this deal was going to fall apart because of one person, then another person, then different conditions, accounting standards, whatever. And then I was like, oh my God, this is seriously going to go down now. Like it's seriously going to break down right before we just have to put a signature and we're going to be done. And so this really made me cry. I was really frustrated. I was feeling like if my husband had shared this news, my wife is going to give birth in
nobody
2
would
days.
have cared about
like,
this.
Everyone would be like, okay, bring the champagne.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I think it was treated in a different way. And I think that reflecting back, maybe these people would have, wouldn't have reacted this way if it wasn't a shock. So I attribute it a little bit to the timing of me announcing like that. It was like genuinely shocking. I mean, like I could have said it earlier, but I didn't want to compromise, risk the round because
we
it
all
was
know
very
that
important for the
this
team.
would have gone wrong if you had
I mean,
said it
if
earlier.
I have to if I have to speak my truth, had I said it, let's say when I was 5 months pregnant, we wouldn't have closed the deal. I just know it, and this is why I kept it, and I feel good with myself because I was operational. It didn't affect me, like it didn't affect the business, and everything was as it would have been if I wasn't pregnant and didn't have a second baby. So, but it just felt this weird emotion within me, like a feeling of maybe a little guilt, feeling of am I lying, am I misleading people, am I tricking people? and I think that's, you know, that's the wrong attitude. But so that was the hardest
I
moment.
believe that your attitude was actually very, very brave above all. And as always, you act on very organized way. So the fact that you have prepared everything and everyone beforehand, us as a team, and we know that we have to fill in the gaps. I think the team was completely calm and sure of you as well. So
Yeah, but thank you, team, for also
Yeah.
being there, because, you know,
I
you referred
didn't
to me, but
feel
it's
it
always.
as a risk that you're pregnant or you're giving birth. It was
I mean,
fine.
I mean, but
Yeah.
I know we feel this way, but it's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's understandable because it's a lot of new investors who don't know us and come in for the first time. So it's expected that they wouldn't know how is, you know, a pregnant woman giving birth
Yeah.
going to feel like maybe, you know, some like outlier baby brain
know
is going
what?
to kick in, and
But
so you
now
need to
when you're
mitigate
saying
those risks.
now when you're saying it, I believe that we are also very lucky because right after you gave birth, we met Theo,
Yeah.
which is our CTO, and I believe that he was a. Yeah. Is he here? No.
No.
And I believe that he was just 10 from above. We were just between between if we're going to build this application ourselves, are we going to
I'm sure
actually
he's watching this and blushing. But like,
sorry? Yeah, Theo?
that he's watching this now and he's like, oh, girl.
He has to hear it many, many times to
Yeah.
believe it. Yeah. So I believe that we're lucky at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's not as straight of, you know, win, 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 win. Definitely not.
No,
you know,
but
there are
always,
the ups
always
and the
when
downs.
something bad happens, you say, okay, this was
Yeah.
for good at the end.
Yeah.
Do
But I
you
feel
have
we're in a
any
good place.
regrets, I mean,
No.
of not doing something?
No, maybe that we should have done a spin-off earlier. Maybe
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
only thing.
And
like
do you
just stop because sometimes, you know, it feels like because maybe some investors don't like get the whole fashion thing, and, you know, they expect like always some stellar result. I feel
think
like
that
a little bit
this
discouraging
makes us,
sometimes.
but I think that this makes us even more ambitious to prove that this is a worthy business.
I work in another ways. Like if you're proud of me, I go like 10x better.
Yeah.
But usually I've heard even about kids, like when it comes to raising a child, they're saying if you don't praise the child, but you say, not like, oh, this is an amazing painting. No, you shouldn't say this. You should rather say, oh, I see you're trying hard to paint this unicorn, you know. So and kids apparently next time they perform better, etc. But for me, I don't work this
for
way.
the kid, I don't believe that every kid will perform.
I get very excited by someone
who is
like
giving you hands up.
like, yeah, just saying, you know, this is working great, this is working also. I mean, of course it can always be better, but it's just like everyone needs a tiny bit of appreciation.
You know, it's
to,
called
you know,
sandwich, you know.
Why?
Something bad, something good, something bad again. So it's like you haven't done this well, but you've done this great, and then
okay, that's cool. So there he is, the CTO. So tell me about your hardest moment.
Yeah, I really can't think of any. Oh, okay. I have one. It will surprise you. I think it was just right after I gave birth, not right after, like 3-4 months after that, because for you it seems like you didn't have such baby blues as I did.
No.
And for me, it was very hard to decide on the path that I have to go from now on. If I have to continue looking after my baby, or if I have to go back to work and try to do my best to be my old self, or even better self. I wasn't able, I could do it. And I think it took me a long time after I got back to work to really feel as myself and have my brain, my adult brain back. So I think this would have been my hardest moment. It's a personal, at the same time it's a work related. I just wanted to thank you a lot for giving me the space.
I thank you, and I have a lot of follow-up questions. One statistic that has come my way is that it takes 2 years for the woman's brain and body, etc., to come back to normal. So actually, a year is absolutely normal. to take. But how, like, did you feel? Because if people knew me better, they would know that there is no way you work with me and I don't make you come back to work.
What do you
As in
mean that
that
a lot of people would
there was,
have
I
expected?
think there was no chance for you to not come back to the office knowing that I'm your partner, because I made you, I made you come back to
At
work.
one point, I was so angry at myself because I was telling myself, okay, is it the baby or Boriana? I mean, come on, the baby should be more important. But then I was like, no, but this is my partner. I mean, the baby's here. It's amazing. I really want to take care of it the best possible way.
But I feel at the same time, I mean, I literally felt like crying when, we had this overlap with your babysitter. She was helping me a tiny bit, and she's so honest, and she was like, every morning she leaves to work, she's crying, or like I can totally see she wants to cry, and I'm like,
No,
well,
come on, I was acting.
what am I doing to her? So how do you feel? Did you feel like, I mean, do you feel normal now? Like, as before?
2 years, you said? I have
As
2 more
before?
months.
2 more months.
No, definitely for 5-6 months I feel more like myself, but it took me pretty long time, and I guess it will take me some more to really know the exact, I don't know, differentiator between being a mom and being your partner, working at NOLD and doing my best at NOLD. So it takes a lot of energy and a lot of mind strength to do it. So I really admire you for having 2 kids and doing it.
You're like, hands down, you're my biggest fan in this world. It's just incredible how you always always support me, and you're like, oh, you look gorgeous, you're doing this great, I admire and support you. So
You said
you're
that
very kind.
you're performing that way the best, so that's why.
Oh, maybe because you're so good at psychology. Maybe that's why you have been doing it, because I perform better this way when you flatter me. But thank you anyway for being so supportive at all times.
So the thing that I wanted to close the personal maybe topic is, she have done it, you have done it in the best possible way, I think, but it's not always so easy. For me, it wasn't so easy. I had a lot of support. I had support at home. I had support in your face as well. You gave me the options. You were patient enough to talk with me and actually discuss my decision from now on. So, but I believe that it's the truth is that it can be so easy for everyone. For someone, it could be very hard. For someone, it could be very easy. I mean, everyone has to find their own way to do the things, to do the motherhood and to do the business, and to try to juggle them.
Yeah, I'm usually very against putting things into either stereotypes or groups. In this
No,
case,
it's not about stereotypes.
It's so, like, everything is so unique when it comes to.
It's every journey is unique.
Yeah,
so
every
you have
family,
to
every
decide
company.
for yourself.
Yeah, it's just extremely.
But it's
different.
something very smart that you've done from the beginning, and I now can see it very clearly. Is that you probably you've done it too well. You pushed yourself to not fall off the working mode state. I mean, you didn't. In some way, it's bad that you didn't allow yourself a little time to, I don't know, to relax. But at the same time, it didn't. I mean, sometimes you get so much into the routine of being a mother that sometimes you get scary that you don't know how it will feel when you get back to work, and your brain just become much more focused to the baby and to the childcare than to the work.
I think I'm just a defect mother, to be honest, and just something is wrong in me. I like genuinely love my children.
No, you're just a very good multitasker, I think.
No, it was just, every mother talking about, this is the best day of my life, giving birth. You've never felt such love like this, and I'm like, where is it?
But you're feeling old.
Where is it?
You
Is
feel
it
that
coming?
as well. Come on, you feel that as
And
well.
so it's not a secret. I mean, I've said it many times that the day because with both kids, the first 2 months I would be operational, but I worked from home for the first 2 months because, breastfeeding, pumping, etc. It's easier, when you're not doing it at the office. Even though with my first child, we had set up
It was
a
crazy.
room
It
at
was
the office
crazy
for me to be with him.
when I remember.
So he was at the office, such a horrible mother. But for me, going to work felt like the vacation, because it was something
It's
that
a
I feel,
mind vacation.
I think
definitely.
just reflecting on not wait, was it Outliers? Wait, what was the book by Malcolm Gladwell which talked about the 10,000 hour rule?
Outliers.
Anyway, yeah.
How
So
you make it.
yeah, so when we talk about, flow, for me, I feel for work, I feel so comfortable because I live it and breathe it, and it's like, I would say, effortless, because whatever I need to do, it comes so natural, and I love it. Whereas with the baby, it's so new, and you know me, I'm the most rational, calculated person on
And they're
earth.
not rational.
And with the kid, you're saying something 17 gazillion times, and it just doesn't get
And you
through.
expect it to
He
act the same
cries,
way as it.
yeah, and you don't know why it's crying, and you're offering this and this and that, and he promised you that if he has an ice cream, he's going to have dinner. You have it recorded on your phone. He has the ice cream, and then he doesn't want to have dinner, and we're like, what did we just talk about? What did you just promise me? He's like, I don't know, I don't remember. And you show him the video, and he's like, nope, it's not true. And he just like, he just wanna. But
So you
anyway,
expect logic in every aspect of your life.
so I do. So, but the first kid was very wild and very demanding. And now that he's 3 years old, it feels like we have a conversation, and it's much more pleasantful. So I'm feeling a much better mother now, much more useful mother now. And my second baby, thank you God, Lord, is a very, very sweet and kind and like calm baby. So I feel much
She's
better.
been through fundraising, that's why.
Yeah, all of the babies have been through fundraising. Yeah, and through launching a business. So yeah, I think we need to just, again, I'll refer to what Sabina said, the founder of By Far said. Just sometimes you need to forget you're a woman. If you want to succeed in business, just forget that you're a woman. Just grind hard. I mean, this doesn't mean you shouldn't,
It's the
take
same with every
take care of
urge.
yourself as a
Yeah.
woman. Yeah, but right. But just in business, just go and pitch it, because I think even if you have this little
But I think
fear, I think it's projected. I feel people feel it like, oh,
Of course they do. But I think she meant it in the way that not forget that you're a woman or forget your urges to when you're a woman, but you have to go into and meet, for example, men in a room full of investors that you have to persuade that this is the next big thing in fashion. You just have to go there and forget the fact that you're a woman, they're men, and they're expecting for you to act like a woman or to feel like a woman. So my point is, don't forget that you're a woman in everything that you do.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
forget that there are some assumptions about the woman when you get and pitch in front of the men.
yes, I mean, that just a lot of times there is the question, how are you, a mother and, a businesswoman? And I'm like, half of the world is a woman. It's not an outlier that you're a woman. Half of the world is a woman. Now, is it worse to be a woman than a man in business? That's another question. Like, is it? Is it easier?
Not.
Maybe. Well,
If that's what I meant by this is what I understand from Sabina and the thing that she said, that it's, if you think about is it bad or good, you're going to put yourself in one of the two categories. You have to think as it's nothing. It's just like either being a woman or.
Honestly, I never felt like I'm any less than a man, like when it comes to our business, our idea, like pitching,
when I feel
etc.
less, I know it comes from me, not from the men that I'm meeting
But
with.
I actually use it to my advantage, because whenever I see, someone invest in female founders, or there is a diversity gap, or they need to invest in a woman, because I see all of their portfolios like in guys' companies, I'm like, hello, women here, give us money. And yes, I'm very unapologetic. And I think one of the things which I guess probably, for example, my husband would say I'm learning is he thinks I don't take feedback well. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I love feedback. But I guess like he's not on the same opinion as me. So if someone criticizes us or doesn't invest in us, I genuinely see it for what is the missing piece. Like, let us improve.
And even if he's criticizing us because we are women, still it's a critic. You have to.
Yeah, I always try to find the truth in
to see the feedback.
To see the feedback. All right. What have been? You want to ask a question, because I have I'm in the flow. I wanted to ask you, what do you think are some of the crucial success factors that in our business, like for us to be successful? What do you think are some of the key things which we managed to do great?
I think I do remember precisely the moment when we decided that we have to incorporate brands into the equation. This for me was a aha moment, and I believe this is one of the best differentiator that we have as a business. The fact that we include the brands and we want them to be part of their own resale market, own it, enjoy it, profit from it. And above all, this will give the whole business idea, the whole platform, and the idea of secondhand, it will give it credibility. And this will make people believe that this is something that's worthy, and it's secondhand, but it's not second quality. It could be as nice, and this is what I think it's the.
Yeah, so I think definitely what you're saying, before the what we call the NOLD 2.0, we were working on just the NOLD, which was growing super fast. It was in Eastern Europe, so something very similar to Vinted, and it was growing like crazy in Eastern Europe with zero spending. But then we were very quick to realize, yeah, it's working, it's growing, but it's not something that is unique on a global scale. So there was this little moment with investors where they were like, just expand what you have because it's working in more markets in Eastern Europe. And we were like, no, let's go the hard way again. Let's build something like not brand new, but I mean, like a super cool newer technology.
I feel it as something like brand new because it has a lot of new and sweet features that will make the platform much more light to use. As I believe most of the big players right now are very heavy and very, I don't know, in depth in their own, even the selection of the marketplaces that they have, the way that they operate their collaborations with the brands. In the case of Vestiaire, it's not light and it's not easy, and it's not, I feel like you're just one of the lost sellers and buyers when you go on those platforms. I really would like our platform to feel very different and very new and modern in the approach that the sellers can list their items, use the AI to list their items, be very guided through the whole process of listing the item and then selling their item, and have everything very clear and easy to navigate in their wallet, so that they can claim 100% payout for the brand or for other brands that we partner with, or they can claim the cash. So I believe that everything from the listing of the item to claiming your payout, it's very streamlined and very efficient and very beautiful put. So I believe that this makes it really brand new and fresh. Fresh is the word that I.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I love it. I love the platform. I'm certain we're one of those moments where now we feel it's incredible, and in 6 months we would look back in it and we're gonna say, oh, what were we thinking now? It could be even cooler because you and I, we always are very quick with the updates and the features and reworking things. So I'm sure it's going to get better. And here I just wanted to invite every user, current or potential, to give us their feedback, because we're genuinely very user-centric, and we wanted to build something for us. We didn't say how the NOLD actually started, but yeah, it was driven by just us selling clothes.
Just you wanted to make it fast, easy, and fresh.
I wanted it to be super fast, because why take pictures of items that already exist? Why describe them then when they have been described by the brand? And I hate commissions. Like, I come from not entirely financial background, but as we said minutes ago, I'm extremely rational. I'm extremely I want to optimize everything I'm doing, and I hate leaving commission somewhere. So this is why it was very important to build a platform with commission-free options in its DNA. So I'm very proud that we did this in a very cool way. For me, I feel, honestly, the more I'm in my entrepreneurial journey, 10 years now, even they're going to be 11, some things you just feel right. It's like beyond doing research, beyond a lot of things just feel right. And when this piece comes to the puzzle, it's going to work. Like the same way as I felt when we were launching the very first note on the 17th of December against everyone's advice. It clicked so much with me. I knew it would work, and super grateful that it worked. And another thing which I feel has been a super important thing for us and for our success is actually our CTO, because if you want to build a technological product, you need to have the right expertise. I mean, you could, like, there is a chance that you do it without, but I feel
You have to have it in house
like
because
now I feel
yeah.
we're like not grown-ups, but like definitely a realer deal when you have such a cool
And I think the
dev team on
most
board as
important
well.
part of having a CTO in-house and having a partner like Theo is because he can not only build the technological side of the product, but he also has a business mindset. So when he thinks of technology, he also thinks of how to develop the business
Oh, you
on
know,
this.
the business needs him, it doesn't need us. So
Kind of. We can be any marketing.
thank God he doesn't have an overriding vote.
And he's pretending not
be
to
like,
hear us over there.
Yeah. All right.
And I wanted to ask you, I very much want to ask you,
Yes, I love you.
10 I know. 10 years from now. So this is the thing.
You're reading my mind. I was
No,
going to.
yeah, 10 years from now. What will be Node 10 years from now? Hours or not hours, how it's going to develop. What is the thing that makes it stays Node in 10 years time?
Well, it's something that I don't want to share simply because I think it's a strategical route that we might be taking. So one of the coolest things in which I think we could become, I'm just for the sake of, protecting our ideas, I'm not going to share it now, but there is a very powerful road ahead which we could take, which, is pending just current performance to see which way we should go towards. So we are currently going to the other direction. So if it doesn't work out, we can go into this, even more powerful direction. Like people would be asking, so where are you going in a more powerful direction now? There is a very clear reason. So we'll see. But the point is that we founded Node with the mission. This has always been our mission since we know each other for like, what is that now? 7 years, 6 years maybe now, to mitigate the impact of fashion. So for me, it's very important to build a solution that mitigates the impact of fashion in a very tangible way, but then at the same time really make this a cool swag product. Like for me, it's such an obsession point that people just love it, and there is a community. It's not just a product you use functionally, but it's a community. Like it's part of your mindset when you go shopping and you're like, okay, I'm buying this, it's $100. This means that on the note, in 6 months I can sell it for 80, and I'm going to claim 100% payout, so it actually costs me 20. So I really wanted to become part of your thinking, even with first-hand shopping, with second-hand shopping, with optimizing your spending, optimizing your wardrobe, thinking of circularity, measuring your impact, like even bringing all of these like loyalty points and impact points that really make you feel special and a game changer. So in the longer term, I think we're the type of solutions like the three kind of the three-sided solution to a problem, where we help users, we help the brands, we make money. Like everyone makes more money in this cycle, which I think is very hot. And at the end of the day, it's really something cultural. It genuinely brings the new way of consumption, which I'm proud to give to my children's generation, because clearly, I said I'm a bad mother, but I do want for them to live in a world which is not degrading and more depleted. I want it to be rather conscious and cool and effective. And this would probably be my legacy towards them. So I cannot pinpoint 10 years from now, because clearly we could be acquired or we could acquire more people. We can go in 1,000 ways.
In product manner.
Yeah, but definitely developed? I see it like environmentally, this is definitely going to stay a thing for me, that this is the core of what we do. So it's going to stay there, and I want it to be very tangible, and that it's just a cultural, it's a cultural standard to be circular and to be circulating.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to make it cool enough to become a cultural standard as well.
Yeah.
The Node,
Every
standard.
time I'm on 2 glasses of wine, I tell myself the same thing. Like I should be doing the branding and the business and the communication in this state, because it just needs to be fun. It needs to be free.
Fun and cool.
It doesn't need to be professional and polished. It just needs to be cool, because that's what people want to engage with. Like easygoing, cool products.
Yeah.
How about you?
I don't know. Currently, I'm always in the stage of thinking of how fashion and secondhand fashion can be developed. with the help of the new technologies. So recently there was this software, in artificial intellect, that it's actually browsing and scrolling through the internet and making a huge database of all the items that are existing currently. And the aim of this software is actually to be able to recognize from image the brand, probably even the size, I'm kidding, but the brand, the model, and everything about this item, to actually tell you everything that they know about this item, and to actually even price it the proper way.
I would say this is 2 years from now, not even.
Not even 3 years. Who knows? But
I mean, we're doing half of it already now with AI.
I'm always curious. So my point of direction is, of course, as you mentioned, to become very cool and very, it should stay trendy and hip to shop from. But my idea is to develop something. You know, the way that the social medias are structured right now is that they know when you like something, and they offer you the same, more from the content that you already like. So for me, the best way to develop NOLD would be in this direction, to know when you shop on our platform, to know from the beginning, not from the beginning, but from early stage on, to know what you really like and what you search for, and even to be able to, even if we don't have it, to be able to find it for you in a way. So to be kind of an aggregator of your own personal needs. So this will make it very, because I don't know about you, but I usually, when I see something and I like it, and I know that I would like to find it secondhand, so I will be amazed if I can do this.
So we need to connect to the Pinterest style boards of people to kind of channel and speak to.
So filters are not enough for me.
Oh no, definitely not.
So or even someone who can look at my style and tell me, okay, you need to find this one, and to pre-shop it for me.
And to pre-shop it. Usually, I mean, I don't pride myself with the best style, because I'm very like plain vanilla and boring. So if I can tell it, you know, my style, but with a tiny bit of twist and coolness, it will be great.
So for me, something like this, it will be amazing.
All right, we can chat for hours. Is there anything you want to cover?
My last question for you: if you can approach one person in the fashion industry, the Ortega or Bernard Arnault, or I don't know, Jimmy Choo, you'll meet them, what would you tell them?
Can you go first?
No, I don't know. I know, of course. I will do Anna Wintour.
Okay, interesting.
Because she hasn't spoken on the subject.
Oh, that's very true.
She looks like she doesn't care that there is a sustainability problem with the fashion industry. She doesn't care that there are chemicals polluting the rivers, or that there are factories crashing above underpaid women, or I don't know, name it. She seems like she doesn't care, and she's the one who in the 80s actually made the huge change in fashion. She's the one who combined low and high fashion, so she has to some kind of lead the way.
That's true. That I mean, from what I've seen, there is no official like stand on the point. Clearly I was going to say Beyonce first, even though she's not like, she's known more for music first. But anyway,
she's influential.
I mean, but whatever she says becomes the norm. So definitely the first name which comes to mind for everything is Beyonce. But then on a more kind of having a few more minutes to think, I actually think it would be pretty cool to talk to Pharrell Williams, because I mean, he's always also coming from the music world, but as you know, he has taken over LV for the past year now, and I'm pretty impressed with his mindset and what he's doing. And I think he exactly does things in a very like fashionable and like business way, but also very just fun and beautiful way, in a way that you can, I mean, just the cultural aspect of what he does is very captivating. So I would love to get, I mean, I would love to get him engaged in the conversation of circular fashion.
I believe that sustainability and sustainable fashion is still not cool enough. I don't know why.
I mean, because we've shamed like the whole word sustainability and green, etc. I think it's
the way that luxury sounds like.
I just think it's like, it's so greenwashed that it's just like whenever you say it, it's
so we need new words and it will become cool.
I even stopped including it into whatever we do, because I actually think it backfires more than it does good.
Okay.
All right.
So we need the coolness factor to be back in the game. So this is something we can ask all of our guests.
Yeah.
What and how to make sustainable fashion cool without naming it sustainable, and who will be the person who you think might do the change from the big fashion names.
Interesting. Yeah. Let's make
And
this
tag them and make them.
Okay. So Pharrell Williams, Beyonce,
Anna Wintour.
Anna Wintour, you're tagged. Okay, so it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. We spent 80% of our time together, and it never feels enough. We can talk for hours.
And we talk mostly about work. So.
Yeah, so it was great to talk more about work today. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you at the office tomorrow. Thank you all for listening. And we are very, very excited to keep this podcast going and hear from some truly, truly exciting people going forward. I don't know, should I mention some of the next guests that
definitely. I'm so
okay, because I can never keep it. No, actually no, I'll keep it a surprise. But anyway, so fantastic, like truly amazing people that I don't even know how it landed are going to be part of the podcast, and we're going to be talking more about the change that the change which they're bringing to the fashion world, and that still needs to happen, and a little bit more hopefully juicy stories.
And also feel free to ask questions below in the comments.
Oh yeah,
so that we can ask questions.
That's what the standard. Follow, like, share,
ask questions,
and please give us your feedback on people that you would love to get invited, on topics that you want to cover, and kind of if we need to amend the format. As we said, we're very consumer centric, so we would love to bring you the format and the people and the topics that would make the most sense for you. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you once again, and I'm very excited to keep it up.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. The NOLD Foundation is a nonprofit organization. I'm gonna get there. Hi, and welcome to the Fashion Game Changers podcast here.